Hey guys, how's it going? It's Target here. Welcome back to another episode of the Regina Zephyrs Be a GM. So, we're here, and we're a little bit before the trade deadline. You guys know that I don't like to do the trade deadline as much because it's not realistic. You know, there is a time frame for making trades in the NHL, but it's not a matter of 5 hours, you know. You got lots of time leading up to it. So I like to make my deals before and then see what happens on the trade deadline. And this is going to be no different. Now, before we left off, we were in the process of trading possibly Ales Hemsky and Benoit Pouliot for players that are better defensively, okay? So, one of the ones we were looking at was in Calgary, and that was Joel Ward. Let's take a look at Ward. All right, Joel Ward. Now, he's got pretty decent trade value. Like, it's a little bit higher. Hemsky's higher than that. But look at his defensive categories. 86 defensive awareness, 85 shot blocking and stick checking. Just a stick check is 87. Even his offensive awareness isn't bad at 84. Great discipline. He's a guy that's not going to be taking too many penalties. And you know what? He's a guy that's going to be killing penalties for us. So that's what I want in Joel Ward. Now, going back the other way would be Ales Hemsky. Now, I'd also like to pick up another good defensive player in exchange for Benoit Pouliot, okay? Because I know Pouliot's not the best, okay? So we might be able to squeeze another player out of them. So let's take a look at all forwards. And we are looking at, we're going to look at people at the highest defensive category, okay? So like we said, we had Rich Peverley, who's not a bad option. He's got a pretty high salary cap. Does he not? I thought he did. Either way, he'd be a good centerman for us. They've also got Evgeny Malkin, who's a little bit too much. Paul Gaustad, who's scratched. Paul Gaustad could be a guy that we could grab because he is decent on the defensive category. But you know what? He's playing in the minors. I mean, he'd be an easy guy to get out of them. I think that Rich Peverley may be our best option. All right, so that's not bad. I mean, Rich Peverley's a third-line scoring forward. He could play center on that third line. Right now, who do we have again playing center? Actually, he could play the fourth line if we wanted to. I mean, geez. You know what? He could play the wing, and then we could have a better centerman. But this here, Joel Ward and Rich Peverley, those two guys, would make that third line much more competitive. Now, going back the other way, we would need to add something a little bit to sweeten the pot. So, I'd like to add somebody that they would want. I mean, it doesn't look like there's any goalies that they'd want. Smith. They couldn't take Smith. I think we already talked about that. We could throw a pick their way, the third-round pick. And now I set it to great, so we're much better. So maybe Hemsky Pouliot in a third for Joel Ward and Rich Peverley might actually come out to be a decent trade in both teams' favors. I think that could go through. Let's give it a shot and see what happens. All right, let's see. Oh, it's through! I'm happy to accept this proposal on behalf of the Calgary Flames, and we consider it a done deal. I like that trade. That's awesome. I'm really surprised that went through. Really surprised. Okay, so let's go to coaching options. Let's take a look at our lines, and we'll do best lines. All right, so they still got Brandon Dubinsky and Chris Stewart playing the top line. I want Chris Stewart playing here. I want Dubinsky playing here, and then switch Yakupov and Tarasenko up. Now, we did have it. Oh, we had it like this, didn't we? Yeah, we did switch it like this. We had Yakupov playing here and Tarasenko on the wing. Peverley, Joel Ward, Boyd Gordon, Dwight King playing the third line. Who's scratched? Who's scratched right now? Brian Boyle is scratched in exchange for Chasen. You know what? I think I'd rather have Brian Boyle playing the wing than Chasen. Like, his defensive categories are not very good yet. So I'm going to scratch Chasen and unscratch Boyle. Do that. Okay, so there's a better option, I think, for us. Brian Boyle, he's a good face-off man, 85 face-offs. And then we've got Rich Peverley playing the third line. And Boyd Gordon gets bumped down now to the fourth line. And he's a great fourth line option. And then you've got these two guys, which are really good defensively. They're both 4.5-star defense, these two guys. Everybody wanted Joel Ward. Everybody really liked Joel Ward. The fact that we got this through is great. And Dwight King is a 4-star. So, I mean, like, if we wanted to, we could do this. We could do this and then put Boyd Gordon here. And then put Boyle playing center. Switch Jones and Dwight King around. We could do that. And that would give us a nice defensive play as well. It's up to us. But I think what I'm going to do is do this. Boyle and Jones. Switch those two around. And then, yeah, Dwight King, Peverley, and Joel Ward. And then you've got these two guys. Boyle's, what's his defense category? 4. So he's got 4. So you got 4, 4.5, and 4 as well. So really good defensively here. Really good defensively here. If we look at the second line, 4 stars. Berglund, he's going to be 4.5. Yeah, he's really good defensively. And then Nail Yakupov. Yeah, he's 4 yellow stars as well. Actually, you know what? We had Dubinsky playing center and Berglund playing the top line. Is what we had. That's what we had it as, right? Yeah. And then on defense, we got Ekman Larson, Cronwall. Okay, power play. We never looked at this. That's one thing. Yakupov, and I want Tarasenko here. Okay, Chris Stewart can play here. That's fine. All right, and Dubinsky and Berglund. I'm going to switch them around because Dubinsky can win faceoffs better than Berglund. Backstrom and Stewart. Yeah, okay. Berglund and Yakupov. No, I'd rather have Dubinsky and Yakupov. Penalty kill, Peverly and Dubinsky, Gordon and Backstrom. That's some serious, awesome penalty killing right there. That's not bad at all. And Peverly and Gordon, very good tandem right there. Backstrom and Stewart, Berglund and Yakupov. You know what? I'd rather have Dubinsky. And then we'll put on Berglund here with Tarasenko, okay? Extra attacker, Cronwall. No, we don't want Cronwall. I can't believe we forgot to do this. We want to have guys like Backstrom on the number 1. And not Cronwall. We will put, I guess, Yakupov. We'll put, well, they're both from the same line. So let's put Tarasenko out there. And, yeah, that's pretty good. All right, Quick and LaBarbera, and then perfect. I think we're pretty much good now. I feel pretty solid about this. Okay. So, we made the trades we wanted to. We've gotten better defensively. Can we make any improvements on defense as well? Let's just take a quick look. Oops. Let's go to coaching options. Edit lines. All right, on defense. So we've got McQuaid and Lyles. So let's take a look at that. McQuaid, he's 4. Lyles, he's 4 as well. Maybe we can improve that. Green, he's 4. Emlyn, he's 4. Okay. Ekman Larson, he's 4. And Cronwall is going to be 4.5. Yeah, oh, he's 5. Cronwall is 5 for his defensive categories. If we could go find some depth defensemen on this line anyway, I'd like to add, I'd like to change one of them to at least be 4.5. Maybe even Emlyn. He's a defensive defenseman. Maybe we can find an offensive defenseman for Green to go with Emlyn that's got that possibility, or another two-way defenseman in replace of Emlyn. So I'd say another defensive defenseman in replace of McQuaid, and a two-way defenseman in place of Emlyn. Guys that have good play or good ability to shut things down. So let's go to GM options. We're going to go to trade negotiations, and we're going to go to the trading block. All right, this is about trying to make our team better. So let's look for any defenseman in that case. We are looking, not any defense. Let's look at top 6 first. Nobody's got that. So there's nobody with that. Oh, that's 5. There you go. Oh, shit. Hold on. Let's clear that out. Defense. Top 6. In that age range. And defense, we're going to go to 4.5. So there's a couple. You've got Willie Mitchell, Rod Scuderi, and Chris Phillips. Now, in terms of age, they're all really old. Chris Phillips and Rod Scuderi are the youngest. Rod Scuderi, defensive defenseman, really good defensive categories. He's not going to be playing any top minutes. That's the thing. What about cap hit? All right, Chris Phillips is the lowest cap hit, 1.6. He's not as good defensively, but he's a bit more responsible offensively. Chris Phillips, he's not a bad option. Rod Scuderi, yeah, he's not quite as good there, even athletically. Yeah, I think Chris Phillips is better. Willie Mitchell, he's got a 2.4 or 2.4 cap hit. Decent, but not great. Yeah, I think that possibly Chris Phillips would be the guy we'd want to go with. All right. Now, Chris Phillips is a top 6. So we'd want to move a guy like McQuaid in exchange for Chris Phillips. It's pretty close. They don't want to get rid of Chris Phillips. Adam McQuaid's considered a top 4. Oh, wait. No, that's not the one we wanted, was it? Yeah, was it McQuaid? Yeah, I guess so. I guess it was McQuaid. All right. McQuaid for Phillips probably wouldn't go. We'd have to sweeten the pot somehow. Wouldn't be a draft pick. Would it be a young player? They don't want any young players, so that wouldn't help. We could try to make this trade. It's Calgary again. If I had known. It's a top 4 for a top 6. You know what? No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that trade. I'm going to let it be. I'm going to let this be. I think our defense is probably good enough. probably good enough. All right, so let's go into the trade deadline and let's see how we do. We got a couple games here before between now and then, so we'll see if we can make maybe we'll make a trade there because we've got that on our wants list is that kind of a defenseman. So we'll see what happens here when we get into the trading block. So Dallas is the last game before, and we win it. Continue. We got our trading block set up. So they want to get rid. They want their first and second round pick, first next year and second this year for Brandon Dubinsky. I'm going to decline that. We need that. We need a player like that. We don't have enough wingers right now. We're going to go to trade negotiations. Here we go. So nothing in the first hour. We've only got one phone. Nothing in the second hour. There might be a couple guys we're going to grab. Oh, Washington has a trade offer. Dubinsky for a first and a second. Brandon Dubinsky is a very popular player. No, I'm not going to trade Brandon Dubinsky. He's an important piece. I really like having him for the future, and it's going to be for Dubinsky. Yeah, first and second. Actually, that's for this year, so that's a little bit more applicable. But I feel like we can make the playoffs. That's why I'm not making this trade. Here's for Dubinsky, guaranteed. Yep, and next year's. Yeah, that's not bad trade value. I would almost ask for. They've got Jonathan Drouin in Chicago, and Zach Parise, and Tom. Look at that top line. Well, those two, and then Colin Wilson would be centering them. Yeah, no, thank you. I like Brandon Dubinsky. We can still make the playoffs here. That's what I feel. That's why I haven't done anything. I'm gonna let the chips fall where they may. If we make it, we make it. Eaton. No. And Gustafsson, he's 3 red, 76 overall offensive defenseman, 25 years old. No, that's okay. All right, so let's keep simming. We're almost through the first year here, so it's going to be crunch time here. We got to win some games. We got to win a ton of games in a row. We can't be giving up games like that. That was an OT, so it's not too bad. But, yeah, see, we can't do that. I don't know if we're going to be there this year. You know, we've got snipers in the system like Yakupov and Tarasenko. Those are guys that are going to have good careers, but they're not there yet. You know, we've also got guys that can play make. You've got Nick Backstrom. I know Nick Backstrom gets to be really good. He gets to 90 overall. So we've got a good future top centerman in Nick Backstrom. We've got Chris Stewart, who will actually end up being a solid second-line winger on a physical line. He's got a great shot. Obviously, he's got 23 goals this year, so that's nothing to slough at. That's actually really good. And he's producing, too. So if he gets placed with a couple playmakers like Berglund, and if I could find him maybe a two-way forward or even a sniper for that line, you're laughing. I mean, I guess you could have Chris Stewart, Berglund, and Tarasenko. You know, that's not a bad combination right there. Not at all. So we're at 76 points right now is what we're at. We need about 20 more points. So we need to win 10 games. I don't know if we're going to get there. I don't know that we are. It's going to be tough sledding because we keep losing. That one came in regulation too. All right, let's see. Here's a top 5 there. We know about Ekblad. The Q, they've got a top 10. So let's scout that for 3 weeks. Let's find out a little bit more. Maybe that stoppage is just what we need. Let's go to the 31st now. Let's see if we can't generate some wins. Adam McQuaid, though, 213 penalty minutes. So I think we should have shipped him out because he seems to take penalties all the time. We can't have a guy like that. He may very well have the most penalty minutes in the entire NHL. And that might be killing us right now, is the fact that he is just brutal. The good thing, the thing that's on our side here is that we're playing with we have a very weak division. A very weak division. All right, I'll take a look at the standings here. We're not up there for save percentage or goals against average. We're not up there for assists. Oh, that's wins. Sorry. Points, we're not up there. Assists, we're not up there. Goals, not up there. It's very frustrating. However, standings, we have dropped. We are now about 4 points out of a playoff spot at this point. We need to get that third spot where Toronto is, so we need to win some games. Behind us, we're pretty safe, but in front of us, we're not. So we've got only a few games left. We're going to go one game at a time. I'm going to sim past them. We'll see how we do. Come on. We got to start winning some games here. We really do now. There's one. Good job. All right, so where does it put us in the standings? We now still at 82. Toronto's at 86, so we're still at that point. All right, we got St. Louis up next. Come on, guys. Come on. This is crucial. This is crunch time now to make the playoffs. I'd like to make the playoffs for the first time with Regina, but if we can't, we can't. There's a win against St. Louis. Nice. All right, so we are now at 84 points. Oh, Toronto's now still 4 points ahead of us at 88. We're in there though. We're still in the race. Detroit, how is Detroit doing? They're 44-25-7. They're a very strong team. They're in the East. They're above us in our division too. So it's the division game. Come on, guys. Come on, you can do it. Let's win some games. We're doing really well right now. Really well. 7-2 loss. That doesn't help. Okay, Philadelphia's up next. Philadelphia. This is going to be a tough fight. This is going to be a tough fight because it looks like Toronto's giving a really good push. Toronto's the only team we can catch. There you go, a 6-4 win over Philly. Where does it put us in the standings now? They're still at 88. We're at 86. We're all of a sudden within 2 points now of a spot. Tampa Bay's in the race as well. Detroit's up next. This is going to be a big game for us considering how strong this division is. Come on. 1 win. Yes, and a 5-1 win against Detroit. That's what I'm talking about. Standings now. All right, we're at 88 points. Tampa Bay's at 89. So's Toronto. We're only 1 point out of this. We've got the Rangers next. They're at 98 points. We are within reach now. Come on, guys. A win against New York, and we'll be in a very good position. We'll be at the... Yes, another win. 5-4. So we're at 90 points. Where does that put us? All right, we're still 1 point behind Tampa Bay and 1 point behind Toronto. All right, we got Boston up next. They're the best team in our division. Best team in our division. They're 50-26-4. Let's take a look at the standings one more time. So Tampa Bay's at 93 points. We need to win our last 2 games in order to qualify. We're not going to do that either way. Like, only 94 points is what we need. If we get to 94 points, we could make it. We could make it if we get to 94 points because we now are a slight head of Philadelphia thanks to that win earlier in the week. So, let's sim these games. These are crucial games. Come on, boys. All right, first period, down 1-0. Camilleri scores. Second, a 2-1. Yakupov and Stewart. Okay, let's go times 4. This is crucial for us getting in, so we need to score. One more power play. 5-on-3, 4-on-3. They get a power play. Nothing happening there. This is just like the playoffs. Yes, Chris Stewart scores. It's 3-1. We're out shooting them 37-17 on home ice. I think Boston's definitely... and 4-1, and that'll pretty much do it. Rich Peverly gets the insurance marker there, and I'm just going to sim. 4-1 the final in that game over Boston. All right. We're not out of this yet. We are almost there. We got back-to-back games. Next one against the Islanders, and if we win this game, I think we'll be in the playoffs. Let me take a peek here. Let me take a peek. All right, take a look at the standings. We're at 92 points. New Jersey's at 94. Philadelphia's at 91. We win this game, and we are in the playoffs because Philadelphia can't catch us, and neither can Toronto. So we win. It's coming down to the final game here. This will do it. We'll make the playoffs if we can win this game. First period, no goals. Second, 1-1. Oh, man, it's close. We're going to go times 4. I don't know if I should intervene. Should I intervene? No, I mean, it's tough to say. Power play, nothing happening on the power play. 14 minutes left in the third. We don't want to go to overtime. Well, we can go to overtime, but we have to get the win. We have to get the win. Come on. Come on, boys. Hang in there. Let's go. Oh, man. 4 minutes left in the third. I'm not jumping in. Not jumping in. Letting the chips fall where they may. Overtime. Come on, Regina. For the first time in franchise history. Oh, Burrows scores, and they win in the shootout. So we will get a point out of it. We will get a point. It's not end of the world. It's not the end of the world. Where do we sit? 93 points. We're ahead of Philadelphia. Now, does Toronto win their last game? That will tell everything. Do we make the playoffs? That is the story here. Scout assignment. We need to know if Toronto won. If Toronto won, we're out. You know what? Let's scout some forwards here for 6 weeks. All right, let's take a look. Toronto, I don't think won. Philadelphia, let's take a look at team standings. Stat Central, team standings. Everybody's done? Everybody's done. We're in the playoffs. Yes, that's an X. We clinched it with that last game. Getting that 93rd, that loss in OT actually ended up winning the game, or winning our standings. So, we finished 11th in the entire league. Our goals for per game, we were 9th. That's not bad. Our goals against per game, 20th, so it is an improvement. Power play, 17th, and penalty kill, 9th at 84.7. That's not bad at all. A really strong penalty kill from our team. Take a look at player stats. NHL. I can't believe we made the playoffs. That's unbelievable. By the seat of our pants. Points. Nick Backstrom had 72 points this year. That's really good. A really good year for a guy that didn't have much support. Chris Stewart probably had his best year. Yep, 64 points for him. That is the best year he's ever had. Well, this year he played 50. He got 53 points in 62 games, but 33 goals for him. Actually, that's really good. We'll have to check to see how he did in terms of everybody else. Yakupov had 50 points. That's his obviously best year. It's only his second year. Patrick Berglund, 45 points. Not bad. It's not as good as this year, 52, but pretty good. Oliver Ekman-Larsson, 42 points for Ekman-Larsson. Fantastic year for him. Very good. Dubinsky had 41. That's good for him. Rich Peverly had 39 points, which is on pace for some of these other ones. Not as good as this one, but pretty much almost as good as that one. Tarasenko, he had 39 points, minus 11. That's going to be quite the story. Cronwall, 35 points. Green had 34. Dwight King had 26. Boyd Gordon had 24. Jones had 22. Lyles had 19. Ward had 16. Emlyn had 15. McQuaid had 9. Look at the penalty minutes. And Chasen had 17 and 40. Boyle had 5 and 42. Penalty minutes, it goes without question. I'm actually interested to see if he had the most in the NHL. Let's take a quick peek here at that. NHL. Yeah, by a lot. By almost 100 penalty minutes, Adam McQuaid. His discipline's only at 65. So I think Adam McQuaid might quickly find himself out of the system because of that. That's a lot of penalty minutes, and he caused a lot of times of being shorthanded. So, I mean, if we actually, you know what? I don't want to look at player stats. I want to look at team standings to see how many times, if we were the most shorthanded team in the league. There's no way we weren't. Team standings. Let's go to time shorthanded. Where's time power play? Time shorthanded. We were 281, not the most, actually. One of the fewest in the league. 281 times. 21st. That's unbelievable. I don't know how that's possible with all the penalties we took. All right, so we weren't. I guess it's not that big of a deal. I guess he's the only one on the team taking penalties. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to leave it there. We've done a review. Actually, you know what? I'm taking a look at the goals and stuff. We didn't get up there for either of those categories. The wins, we didn't. Points, no. We were off by a little bit. Assists, 50, no. Goals, we are up there. Chris Stewart finished 5th in the NHL with goals. Only 6 off of the lead, which was Steven Stamkos for the Montreal Canadiens. Not bad, though. Pretty good. We made the playoffs. That's all that matters. So I'll leave it there, guys. When we come back, we're going to find out who we're going to play in the first year for the Regina Zephyrs. It'll be interesting to see how things go. So until next time, I'm Target Audience, and I'll catch you guys out on the ice.